Draculaura's Diary. July 4th. Another great day to be alive. Okay, technically it's a great day to be undead, but it's still a great day and I'm going to enjoy it. July 15th. It rained today, which means I don't have to wear so much sunscreen when I went out for a walk. It's also nice for my garden. Fresh tomatoes, carrots, and lettuce. Count Fabulous loves it too. Not the vegetables, but all the bugs they attract. It's like a bug buffet for a bat. Father surprised me by buying my school clothes this year. I love my father, but you'd think after 1,599 years he'd realize there's more to fashion than whalebone corsets and black velvet-lined hooded capes. At least he left the tags on everything this year so I can return it all for something splashed with a little color. I really hope he didn't bite the clerks this time. That's so gross and embarrassing. We got new human neighbors today, which I thought was a little bit strange because my father is kind of intimidating to humans. And monsters too, actually, but it doesn't seem to bother Mrs. Jekyll and her son Jackson Jekyll, who is my age. Well, technically he's really not, but we're going to be in the same class when he gets moved in. I'm going to give him the entire lowdown on Monster High. I took a cascaberry pie over to the Jekylls today as a haunted house warming gift. And Jackson answered the door. Wow, he is scary cute and really sweet. I got bats in my stomach and ghost bumps standing there talking to him. I don't know what it is, but there's something a little mysterious about him. I like it. Claudine Wolf came over yesterday. We were supposed to be going through my closet to collect some of my out-of-date fashions and give them away to Goodwill. It also gave me a chance to give some of them away to Claudine. She has a big family, and I have almost 1,600 years of clothing. It would be selfish of me to not share with my beast friend. Claudine has a lot of pride, though, and so I had to combine the two. After we pulled out a bunch, we cranked the music and started trying outfits. We had such a good time that it woke Father up. What a grump! Anyway, I can't believe chainmail was ever in style. It's so 15th century. Of course, Claudine looked fabulous in it. Jackson came over tonight to return my pie plate. Father got to the door before I could and totally went all Transylvania on him. Good evening. What can I do for you? And I was like, oh no! But then Jackson asked to borrow a hammer because he needed to drive a stake into something. It flustered my dad so much I think he turned a shade whiter. Then Jackson said, gotcha, and my dad regained his composure, barely. Draculaura, you have a visitor. Later on, I heard Father muttering something about Jackson being more than he appears to be. I don't know about that, but he is sweet, funny, cute, and not afraid of my father. Perfect. I went to the mall with Claudine Wolf today to exchange some of the new clothes Father got me. We met Mrs. Stein and her new daughter, Frankie, while we were there. Frankie is going to be in our class at Monster High, and her mother was taking her back to school shopping. Mrs. Stein is really, really sweet, but her fashion sense is, well, not really current. Anyway, we were able to rescue Frankie for a couple hours and show her the best of what the century's fashion had to offer. We had a great time, and Frankie Stein is definitely built for fashion. I think Claudine might have been a little jealous. I also suggested that Frankie should try out for the fear leading squad. She was really excited about it, and I think we're all going to be great friends. Cleo Denial was unhappy with me because I had to miss fear-leading practice this morning. But Count Fabulous got another mothball, and I had to take him to the vet. I scolded him for being such a pig, but he looked so miserable, I couldn't be mad at him for long. If he's not going to be a vegetarian, he should at least stick to eating something smaller, like gnats or mosquitoes. So my sweet 1600 birthday is coming up soon, which I'm really looking forward to. But it also means something I'm not looking forward to, and that's having the talk with my father. We do this every year around my birthday, and it usually bums me out for at least a couple of days. The talk goes like this. Draculaura, I've been extremely tolerant of your keeping daytime hours, your friendship with that pack of mangy werewolves, and your insistence on being happy, but I believe it is imperative that you return to your roots and give up this ridiculous idea that a vampire can be a vegetarian. It's unnatural, unmonster-like, and I think it's time you return to what you once were. Then he stands there with his arms crossed, looking very serious. I used to get mad and tell him that it was my life and I could choose to live it however I want to, which caused him an even bigger fight. But then I started just giving him a kiss on the cheek and a big hug, which totally disarms him, and he doesn't bring it up for another year. My father is the most scary, cool monster ever, and I know it's hard on him but being my own monster makes me happy, and I'm never going back to the way I used to be. Jackson Jekyll asked if I wanted to go for a walk with him today, which was totally creeperific until he asked me to bite him. I thought he was just kidding, but he was totally serious. When I asked him why, he said it was because he didn't want to be the only human at Monster High, and that if he were a vampire, he would fit in and we could hang out. He was so sweet about it, but I told him why I became a vegetarian and how that meant I couldn't possibly bite him. I could tell he was disappointed, but I told him just because he was a human didn't mean he wouldn't fit in, or that we couldn't hang out. But that seemed to make him feel a little better. But I don't think he's giving up on the idea of me biting him. I just finished working on a newsletter for VAMP, which stands for Vampires Advocating Meatless Protein. I put in some recipes, a short story, and some poetry. I think it's a great organization, though I'm the only member so far. I even gave a copy to Father, who circled some spelling errors and gave it back to me. Well, at least he read it close enough to find mistakes. Claudine Wolf's family always has an end of the summer boo-ba-cue, and they always invite me, even though in the past our families haven't always gotten along. But since Claudine and I are like best monster friends forever, I always get invited. Of course, they're all like total carnivores, so I usually bring my own food. At least they don't tease me too much about the tofu dogs and veggie burgers I bring. This year I invited Jackson Jekyll to go with me, and I think he had a good time. Although Claudine has a really big family, and they can be pretty rowdy when they're all together. As much fun as I had at the cookout yesterday, it was still a sign that summer is ending and school's about to start. I mean, I don't dislike school, and I love seeing my friends every day, but there's nothing like summertime and the freedom of just being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want to.